All right, so I had a request the other day. This is Manifest Mercy. For those that don't know, we assist those in the Madison County and surrounding areas in regards to Madison County, Illinois, in regards to second chances. So we help people out that are removing themselves from criminal thinking and incarceration. We help people out in regards to removing themselves from addictions that are in recovery. We assist people that are dealing with suicidal thought or loss. And we also believe in giving back to victims because everything we've mentioned before creates victims. And to truly remove yourself from the things we've mentioned, you've got to understand the need to be able to give back. There's some empathy involved in that. So that being said, the topic for today is specifically connection versus awareness. Not necessarily a topic you might normally think of or that you might be sure what it's all about. So I'm going to give an example and then go into a definition of what we're talking about here. Connection in this regards, the other day, we on a regular basis in our faith base, our church service, pay attention to trying to the best we can notice new people or people that aren't connected. So when somebody comes in, and we're a bit of a larger church, we try to look for people we've not seen before. And what that helps us do is connect because we're focusing. It's like, yeah, I've seen that person before. We also pay attention to who's sitting by themselves because sometimes it's not that that person hasn't been there before, but it may be that they've never connected. So the connection part is about a focus, trying to notice. So last night we were at our service and I did my normal duties that I've been doing for the last several months, kind of paying attention to what I'm seeing. And so the numbers came out, and there were, 10 to 20 people that were sitting by themselves, and there were, I want to say around 10 people I didn't recognize. And so I get those numbers jotted down, and I chat with a couple of our volunteers so that they're kind of aware, hey, there's that family over there. I've never seen them before. There's a couple people sitting here we've not seen before. Let's make sure we try to poke attention to them, make sure they feel welcome, see if they have any needs, maybe see if we can connect them in with what we try to do. And then I'm sitting down because then I take the time to make sure that I get filled because it's important to me that I don't spend all my time just taking care of other people. Got to take care of ourselves too. And I was listening to the sermon that was being presented, and I recognized that over the last month and a half or 2 months, the numbers of whom I'm seeing that look new are going down because I'm now recognizing people that maybe I didn't know before. In one sense, that's good because the perception is there that I'm doing a better job at recognizing people and focusing on other people and seeing other people. And then I thought about that and I said, now, wait a minute. If I get to a point where I go to a particular service on any given day or night, and the amount of people that are there all look familiar to me, instead of looking at that from the perspective of, that's great, we're doing a better job at recognizing people, isn't there a problem that there aren't new people coming? I want you to think about that for a minute. If the attempt we have in programs, recovery groups, faith-based services is to get people in and then to keep them in, then half the equation, that connection, is not happening. At what point do we have to recognize that we should see the numbers increasing of new people? And this was an interesting revelation to me. I came home, my wife Tina and I had this conversation together because we realized, if we're not getting or seeing new people, then we've got a serious issue at hand. So this is where the whole idea of connection versus awareness comes in. If you're attending an AA or NA or Smart Recovery or Celebrate Recovery, Refuge Recovery, home group, any type of recovery-based meeting, and somebody new comes in, you want to make them feel welcome, safe. You want them to be able to share and know that what they say stays there, that they can be transparent and open, and that you're going to listen and validate what they have to say. If they don't come back, some of that's probably because they aren't ready for that setting. Some of it may be because you've not included them in. And on our on our Facebook page, I know I've discussed this before, that we have got to do a better job regardless of people's social awkwardness or whether they fit in or not, or whether they're part of the clique or whether they're, they've been there for a long time. We have to make people feel welcome and a part of what's going on to a very high degree. Because if we don't, we're going to lose people. And especially in the addiction and recovery related field, losing people means relapses, and relapses in many cases is going to mean death. And that's not okay. So we have to break that stigma. So if we're paying attention and seeing new people, great, connect them. And if those numbers are going down, then what's going wrong not to bring people in? This is important in the process that we do in our faith bases, in our programs, because there are always going to be more people that are trying to remove themselves from these situations. There are thousands, tens of thousands, probably hundreds of thousands of people out there that are getting removed from prison, that are battling mental health illnesses that lead towards depression and stress anxiety, that lead towards suicidal thought and loss, that are using drugs, whether it's legally or illegally, and are getting addicted to them. People that have been victimized, childhood trauma. And so the numbers get bigger and bigger every year. And if we're going to truly give these people second chances, then we have to recognize that they're out there and we got to get them in there. And what's it going to take to get them in and then connect them? This is the awareness part. When I say connection versus awareness, it's great if you're recognizing new people and then getting them connected. But if your numbers are dropping, then eventually you're not going to be counting anymore. And you're going to go, great, I recognize everybody. The problem with that is that your numbers aren't going to get any better. They're going to get worse. This cannot be an acceptable practice. We have got to recognize it from the perspective that if we are seeing that we're not seeing new people, then our programs and our faith base, then our church, our temples, our synagogues, our places of meeting, our recovery meetings aren't serving the purpose. If we are so comfortable in our settings that we're more concerned about connecting with the people that are in our tight group, our cliques, we've lost the point. Back in the past, before social media, we connected with people by getting together with them for supper, by going over to their houses, by talking with them on the phone, by meeting up with them. And it wasn't about just connecting with them at church. We weren't going to church. I'm going to church to meet somebody, to see somebody I haven't seen all week. Yes, that's important. And yes, we want that to happen. But if you are there and really concerned about people, at our church, we have a saying of extreme ownership and of promotion. But it's really hard to promote and have extreme ownership if all I'm doing is connecting with those same people every week because it's the only time I see them. In the meantime, there are people who are sitting there saying, why isn't anybody coming over to talk to me, shake my hand, spend time with me, get to know me? The reality of it is awareness versus connection is if people aren't coming in, there will be no connection. Are we aware of that? We don't want to live in a society where we have a name on a pew and the only reason that we're attending some program is because there's a status level to it. I don't go to my recovery programs to work on my issues, to specifically connect back with the same people each week. I go to talk about what I'm dealing with. I go to get help if I need it. I go to help continue the process of removing myself from my past. And then I want awareness and all that of how that's going to help me, how it's going to grow. We have got to get past this stage of where our awareness stops. Because awareness and connection needs to lead to inclusion and bringing people in. Look, I wanted to share this today. I'm going to do more on the YouTube side of what we do. These will then get added back to our Facebook page for those that follow us there. If you have any questions or points or things you want to comment on, you can always make comments down below. Hopefully this has been helpful. Folks, all I'm asking is that we please do a better job at recognizing that we have got to be open and bringing people in so that connection and awareness do a better job at making sure people are helping removed from whatever problems they're dealing with in life. Now, remember, you are loved. You are more than the choices you made. And instead of living in a culture where hurting people hurt people, we want to promote healing people, healing people. We love you guys. Have a great day.